Hi everyone, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on your time zone. Here is Massive Media. We have come back to you with another trading news. This time it's the news about the Kuje prison break. But before we continue with the news, we have to thank our regular listeners and our subscribers. I ask you to continue doing your work, as also your blessings will be increasing. And also we ask those who have not subscribed, who listen to us for the first time, ask you to share our news, subscribe, and leave your comment. We will come back to you, and this time you will also receive the blessings of what you have done. A good man remains a good man, and he receives blessings whenever it comes to the sharing of that blessing. Okay, today we have this news about the breaking of the Kuje prison, as this was carried out yesterday, being Tuesday. It was suspected by some people that it might be that the super police commissioner, deputy commissioner of police, Vacate, must have been the subject of the attack. But it is beyond that. Even when he is included in the attack, it is beyond that. As you know, for some time now, there has been controversy over the issues surrounding Vacate in the prison. First and foremost, you remember he was involved in a Hush Puppy issue, of which Hush Puppy has been extradited to US. Again, he was also supposed to have been extradited to US, but he has his Fulani groups, his Fulani brothers are in government, and they have been doing everything to stop him from going back to US. As you may know, also on the 14th of June 2022, Vacate and his group co-defendants were sentenced to 6 years imprisonment. Reason being that they were involved in drug trafficking, and particularly as an agent of the state, and he knows much about what happened. The super police deputy commissioner was also alleged to have committed another offense between January 19th to 25th of this year, 2022, when the man in charge committed himself by trying to bribe a senior officer of the National Drug Enforcement Agency with a sum of 61,400 at a restaurant in Abuja to prevent the testing of part of the cocaine that was seized from two arrested drug pushers. And these suspected drug pushers had in total 21.25 kilograms worth of cocaine seized from the two suspects. And the two suspects are very close allied to Vacate, the police deputy commissioner. So they approached him, and he was to do the remaining part of the job. Theirs is to bring them in. Vacate is there to ensure that nothing happens to them. And these two young men were Mr. Umibe and Ezewanne. So both group were involved. And on the side of Vacate, he has his own team, of which one of the assistants is superintendent of police. Amongst all the group, Mr. Omaro has been at large, and he did not appear in the court. He disappeared, and as he was not arrested, That is the case of the second case of Vacate. Then he has been also involved in other controversies and argument over his stay, his safety in Kuje prison. That was why when this incident happened, the newspapers rushed to find out if he was among those that escaped, if he's among those that the Boko Harams, the terrorists, released from the prison. So the initial news suspected that he was out. But however, he was not. The second interview and the investigation shows that he was not among those that escaped. According to Vanguard, he reports that the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police, Vacate, was among inmates that escaped from the Kuje prison. That was their initial report. They said now this is false because the officer that disclosed the information did not see Vacate at the time of their check. So he disclosed this information, which has been later now been corrected. So it says a top official of the Nigerian Correctional Services, who also spoke to Vanguard, said the terrorists that bombed the facilities attempted to gain entry into Vacate's cell but could not. A group of terrorists on Tuesday night attacked the prison in Abuja, the nation's capital, with bombs and other high-caliber arms. It recalls that Vacate, other high personalities in the prison are the former governor of Taraba State, Jolly Nyeme, Farouk Lawal, a former member of House of Representatives. Meanwhile, the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Interior, Dr. Shaibu Bagre, said that only or over 600 of the inmates fled the prison when it was under attack. He, however, said that about 300 had been recaptured, while 300 were at large. But this evening, the second information shows that these 300 inmates that escaped, that has not been located, now are members, suspected members of Boko Haram and the other terrorist groups that were put in prison by the Nigerian government. But insider source, however, according to Vanguard, stated that those who remained under condition of anonymity revealed that over 1,000 inmates escaped. Over 1,000 inmates escaped, and of which they made a little calculation on this. He said, Vacate is not missing. We have identified this. The total population of the Kuje prison is about 1,476, and only 111 of the inmates refused to escape and decided to remain in the prison, as 90% of the inmates escaped. Those that decided not to escape included former Governor Jolly Nyeme of Taraba State, Farouk Lawal, Vacate, and 4 of his officers, retired Air Vice Marshal, and also 107 other inmates whose jail terms is less than 3 months remaining, and some who are innocent of what they were accused of. He continued, there are also a few other good senior citizens. In total, over 1,300 inmates escaped. Only 111 refused to escape. So all persons that volunteered to remain behind were counted by 2 a.m. today, and the total is 111 persons. This is the news, and one would understand that the information that came out, which people needed to hear, was that Abakere has used the opportunity to escape the prison, which the Vanguard itself reported as the breaking news. But the breaking news did not materialize because he was found later in the prison. So, but however, it was in his recent research, he found out that the 300 members of the terrorist group in the prison all escaped. None of them is remaining behind. So when they called for Abakere, they were shouting his name, Abakere, where is he? Where is he? Perhaps he is in a special room, properly kept and secured. That might be the reason why he didn't escape. All those, you see, those officials, senior officials, that the former governors, the members of House of Rep, the Air Vice Marshal, all these people must have been kept in a special place, and of which the terrorists could not have access to them. Otherwise, they could have escaped as well, irrespective of the number of months remaining. That is the news for the day. We thank you for listening. And in analysis, we try to see that the Boko Haram have access into this prison. It was reported that there were police, military officers guarding the prison. But few hours before the time, they were asked to relinquish their post and leave the post. And that is good enough to show that either the members of Ministry of Justice or Presidency knew about the break. For them to give orders that the prison security officers, the military, should vacate their posts, and that gave way for the terrorists to come in undisturbed. They entered into the compound, burnt everywhere, then opened prisons for the inmates to escape. Again, this is another recipe for those from the southeast. Those from the southeast, especially the governor of Imo State, the governor of Enugu, the governor of Anambra State, and Ebonyi State. Unless those from the Abia State, Rivers State, Delta, Edo State. This is a recipe also to those from the southwest. You see how they organize these people, this government organized the escape of prisoners. When it happened in Imo State, they alleged that it was the members of IPOP, the members of ECN or ESN that, attacked the prison. No, they attack wherever they have their members, the terrorists, the Boko Harams, the Hismen, the bandits. They have their members. Just like you compare them with those from Afghanistan, the Taliban. Compare them with those in ISIS in Libya, in not only Libya, in Somalia, in Iraq, in Mozambique, in other West African countries. You find out that their time of operation remained between 12, 1, and 2. and you find out that was the time. Comparing it with that time they did in Imo State, it was the same. Only that the Imo State, the officials from the Abuja, the federal government is trying to use every situation to lodge it over the Biafra movement, to portray them as terrorists. But in actual sense, they organize most of them. There is no doubt. Why should they do the same thing when the president went to Katsina, Daura, his own town? Where is it that the terrorists attacked both Buhari on his way, his group, his team, and also the facilities? Who ordered for the withdrawal of the security men in Kuje prison? Who informed the terrorists that Buhari will be traveling to Katsina? And they waited to ambush them, of which they did. And when they did ambush them, there were exchange of gun. The attack was repaired, and that means the attack was indeed a serious attack. There were various steps of ambush. Step by step, they engaged them in a battle, of which until the security men, the military, the police, the DSS, was able to repel the attackers. Perhaps they never expected that the number of officers coming with the entourage would have been in that very form. The convoy had a lot of security, knowing fully well that terrorists may be on the route. So somebody must have informed them. All these things are part of the system. But for those in the East, they continue killing their brothers. They continue killing their brothers, tagging them militants, tagging them terrorists, tagging them everything because they have the opportunity to attack them. This is a very serious eye-opener to those who don't believe that the governors are doing those things in order to serve the interest of those in government and the Fulanis and the Makbans. It's an eye-opener to them because this is a serious issue. Who ordered the security officers out of Kuje prison? It's a recipe. Who told the terrorists that Buhari and his convoy will be going to Katsina? And they ambushed them at various locations along the Siman Road. All these things are things for the southeastern governors to think about. The consequences of killing their people may one day come, and those who may say it is not good may be the people to blame and not those who killed them. With this, we come to the end of this news analysis, and we thank you. We ask you to subscribe, share, and give us your thumbnail. Your comments, we will respond to them. Thank you, and God bless you all. Bye.